Yeah, as I explained yesterday that there are three layers in the SAP from R3 version of SAP. We have three layers in SAP: presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. In database layer, we install databases, HANA, Oracle, MaxDB, anything, whatever the database. That should be in database. And application layer, we install application. And presentation, we are using GUI. That GUI is an application user. Why there are two earlier application layer and database layer? Only two layers are there. In this application layer only, this presentation layer was merged. But since the load issues, see if I install application layer and the presentation layer on one server, so that cause load issues, issues. So that cause the business interruption to the user. So if we install application layer and database layer on two different hosts, so it will somehow help to reduce the load, to balance the load. So then the performance will be increased. Performance of performance will be increased. Any performance issues will not arise. Uh, this is the basic architecture of SAP NetWeaver application with ABAP stack. We have two stacks, ABAP stack and Java stack. A stack is nothing but the programming language which the application is built on. NetWeaver supports on two stacks, Java stack and ABAP stack. The Java stack is nothing but the product which was developed based on the Java code, that is a Java stack. The product that is developed based on the ABAP programming language, that is called ABAP stack. ABAP is an SAP own programming language. So earlier there ABAP was not there. Only so SAP used to have Java stack only. Only Java stack was there. So nowadays SAP recently, not recently, a few years back only, SAP introduced ABAP stack. ABAP is a SAP own programming language. By using this ABAP only, they are developing their products, their applications. By using this programming language only, they are developing their applications. SAP application is one of the application. We have various number of applications: ECC, ECC, NetWeaver 7.0, NetWeaver 7.5. After that, S4 HANA. Depends upon the business requirement, we install the application. Uh, so here we are seeing on the screen presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. See, the users means the users, we should connect an SAP application by using a GUI. What is a GUI? The guys who are already working in SAP, these things are quite common for you. I'm explaining by thinking the beginners in my mind. I'm explaining for them from the scratch. What is a GUI? This is a database. This is a MS SQL database which we install. Okay. Currently there are two applications on top of it, PRD and Dev. These two databases are installed on this MS SQL server. I will show you later this. Uh, we are installing this NetWeaver 7.5 on MS SQL server. So we are not going to explain MS SQL. Already we have explained HANA database earlier. So nowadays HANA is a trending database, right? So MS SQL is completely outdated. Only few customers are using. So here in this course, we are only considering HANA database administration only. But this course will cover HANA database almost expert level, partitions, replication setup, all the things which included. Guys, this is the GUI. SAP logon is a GUI, graphical user interface. By using this GUI only, we will connect to the SAP application. The users will connect to the application, SAP application layer. This is called a presentation layer. The screen which I am showing, it is a presentation layer. Okay, it is just a presentation layer. How this presentation layer will connect to application? By using this application, SAP logon, only I will show in slides. It is explained very well. I prepared slides. See SAP GUI which I shown. I'm a user. See here, two users are there who are working from different locations. By using GUI, we can connect from different locations, not from different countries across the globe. Okay. If they both are in the same network, okay, if they deploy the SAP application in cloud like AWS, Azure, GCP, so they can connect everywhere from the globe. So here in this picture, you can see the two users are connecting by using the application, and they're connecting via GUI to the application. Once we log on to the GUI, once we log on to the GUI, a screen will appear like this. This is the login screen of SAP. Once I double click on it, here we can see the screen. So this is just an empty screen. Okay, we can delete this. Here, these are the systems which I added. Okay, which I added. I have installed two systems on the server. Two systems are currently up and running. So how can I add here? I added these applications. I had here. You can see the two applications. Dev SAD. Yesterday I have explained the database HANA database very well. Where I explained SAD as well. As what is SAD and what is instance number. Similarly, application has also one SID. SID means system identification, system identification number. For example, I have one database. For that identification purpose only, we name that SID. See here, I have two systems. These two systems belong to the same customer. Okay, one system customer expecting all the development operations in this development system. Okay, and another system is production system. So this production system, it is completely a live system that no only the business will happen. It is a always it should be up and running completely. But dev system is not like that. It is their system they use for only developing. Okay, so I open the GUI now. Okay, I simply double click on it. It is open now. If I want to, how I will connect to the application server from here? I will just click on new. Here you can see the page option new. Once I click on it, a connection user specific system. Next, yeah. Here I have to describe the connect details of the parameters. I have okay description whatever we can mention whatever. Development system. Development system means the application which I install is a development system. The description is not, it's not case sensitive. We can give anything or it should be empty, but it should not be empty. In the system identification number. Yesterday, previous batch, I have installed this PRD system. So I'm using that only. So PRD. Instance number. While installing this SAP only, we should specify a instance number. Okay. In SAP, there are two instances. Application layer. I will explain this concept in the slide also, so that will make you more clear. While installing application, there we will specify two instances. One is ASCS instance, and another is primary application server. I will explain in that concept in slides. Here we have to specify the instance number. Yesterday, while discussing HANA database, there this instance number in the SID concept was already we discussed. SID is a system. Similarly, here also instance number is a two digit number. We can use from 00 to 97, 97, not 98, 99 will not be supported. Those are reserved for SAP only. 00 to 97 instance number, whatever we can give. So here I'm giving the instance number as to why the system ID and instance number is just for our for identification purpose only. If we have big system, big landscape where we have 10 SAP applications, to identify the application which I required, I name the application it as a on my it's my own choice to name the application and to name the instance number. Yeah, here the application server name. We can give the port number, we can give the IP address. If you have the host name, if the application built on the same network, you can give the host name as well. So my host name is SAP ECC. Host name is my computer name. Yeah, this is a Windows server. Yesterday we discussed on Linux server, but we have in Windows server as well. Device name is a device name. This is also called as various name. This is a computer. Someone call it as a computer name. Someone call it as a host name. Mm, instance name. All are different only. So all are same only. Just the naming convention is different. Okay, here the configuration of this I have installed with 8 GB RAM in SAP ECC. Since it is NetWeaver, we can install on Windows as well. There should be sufficient storage and sufficient RAM. I'm giving my application server as CCC. Okay, just finish. Now I have added my system. Here you can see already earlier one system was there. Now we can add n times. Okay, here I added actually this instance number is 0 to yesterday I installed. Just for our understanding purpose I given now. So I'm removing this which we added now. Okay, let it be.
Saigondo,
Yeah, please.
here you have given application server as SAP ECC, right?
Yeah.
So it is mandatory or optional?
That is mandatory when you give that application name only, this GUI will communicate with the application server, or else how does it will communicate to the application server? There should be some communication, right, from presentation layer to application layer. Via this host name only it will communicate, host name or IP address. IP address means how we will check in Windows, IP address in Windows by using command prompt. You can check the enter CMD in the run, right click.
Oh, yes, yes. Now I got
All
it.
right, okay.
Actually, we have
Just
given
wanted to,
only
if
IP addresses.
anyone is not aware of this, just wanted to the IP config. This is the IP address of this Windows server. Similarly, for Linux also, every operating system there is some IP address. IP address means it is identification of that host. Similarly, yesterday we have installed HANA database, where in there also Linux server from putty by using some IP address only we connected to the Linux server. Here in Windows also we can use IP address, but since our host name is available, so we have given the host name as ECC. So we have added the connection. The application details we given. Now we have added the connection in the SAP logon. If we double click on it, if the system is up and running, it should show the screen. Only it will show when only when the system is up and running. If the system is down, you won't see the screen, and SAP will not show the screen. Okay, the server will be down completely. Okay, you can't able to access it. Okay, here, so where we are now, again we'll go to the slides. I will explain the theory and the practical parallelly. One side there is a theory concept, and similarly, beside that, a practical session will go on. Okay, guys, are you getting, or am I going to speed? Hello?
I can understand.
No, what about others, those who are new to SAP? I'm not even seeing the screen, just going with the flow.
It's good, bro.
Okay, okay. If you stuck anywhere, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we are. Okay, here we have logged into the SAP GUI, where we have given the system details, and it will show us this screen. Now we will go to this. Okay, now you got an idea what is a GUI. Okay, here. So I'll tell you how the communication happen from application layer to database, how it works, and from database layer to application, how it works in detail. Man, I will take more time here. This is a GUI which we discussed. Okay, what is GUI? Is that clear to everyone? The GUI, oh, I'm asking only the beginners of SAP. Is this clear? Okay, I'm taking the silence as no. I'm taking the silence as yes. Okay, from GUI we logged into the system. Okay, what will happen when we given our username and password? The user request will go to the application layer dispatcher. Okay, from here the dispatcher will see, will search for if any free work process is available or not. Okay, work process we will discuss in future classes. I forgot. First I try to understand this. Okay, assume this as an application layer. There are three layers in front of a presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. I will explain. There are different types of five types of work process are there in SAP application. We will discuss in further classes or tomorrow class we'll discuss. But let's understand each work process will day one. Each work process will definitely take one session completely. So I'm just here mentioning as a W means a work process here. Okay, there are five types of the five types are there. We'll discuss. Work process is nothing but the processes which are helpful, which are doing the work in application. Okay, which take the user's request. Work process, the dispatcher, here we can see the dispatcher, the connection which is coming from the presentation layer via GUI will reach to the dispatcher. Here that once the connection arrives here, the dispatcher will search if any work processes is free or not here. If all the work processes are busy, okay, the request will go to from dispatcher to queue. This is a dispatcher queue. If all the work processes are busy, the user can't able to log into the screen until at least one work process should be free here. One dialog work process should be free here. Once the work process is free, the dispatcher will assign the user request to the work processor. From the dispatcher, okay, here guys are getting the dispatcher. Once any work process are free, okay, whatever the user request is there here in this queue, first in, first out. Okay, let's say there are four users are waiting. Okay, the guy who came first, he will be went to first out. Okay, and then the dispatcher will assign the user request to the work processor. Okay, from here it will go to the user context. What does this user context do? User context is nothing but it will verify whether the user is authorized or not. It will verify whether the user is exist in application or not. It will check whether the user is authorized or not. If you give any wrong password, if you give any wrong username, here we can't allow to it will can't allow to the this application. Okay, it will verify here in this user construct. It will user context. It will verify whether the user is authorized or not. Okay, if the user is not there in the application, here the transaction will be failed here. The user can't able to log into the application. Okay, the user context will process only the authorized users from the GUI. Okay, the user should be present in this application. The user who are trying to log in should present in application. User context is like a gatekeeper. Okay, there is a gateway service is there. I will discuss in future. Okay, but this is a basic architecture diagram just for understand what I am saying now. Okay, this is very crucial. This is very foundation for SAP architecture. This is very helpful for your interviews. They will ask, definitely they will ask what is dispatcher, what is work processor, what is GUI, how the connection between the presentation layer and the application layer. Everything they will ask. If they ask about can you explain the architecture of SAP, you should say all these things. Okay, you should everything they will ask. These are all very crucial topic. It is okay. That's the reason I will take complete today's session for this explanation only. So where we are, so from SAP GUI will connect, okay. Dispatcher, the connection will go to the dispatcher in application layer. Dispatcher will check any work process is free or not. So the user request will wait until the work process is free. Once the work process is free, the dispatcher will assign the user request to the work processor, and the work processor here the user is validated whether the user is authorized or not. If the user is existing in the application, it will allow the user to the screen. Okay, now we'll check in practically how it works. So dispatcher allowed me a work process to log into the screen. That's the reason I can able to see the screen. Right. Now, now the task is user context. Okay. My already when I'm installing database, sorry, when I'm installing application, a DDIC user and SAP star user, two users automatically created when we are installing application only. That we will see in future classes. And while installing application, this DDIC user was created. The password of this DDIC user is we have to provide the password to the DDIC user while installing only. Not the this one is not which we created. While installation process only, it will ask DDIC user is creating. So what are the password you are giving for the DDIC user? So I given some password. Well, user DDIC already logged onto the 001 client. Okay, continue with this login also. So this is our home screen of our SAP. Okay, now the user context has done his job. Now I am an authorized user. I logged into the SAP. The DDIC user is there in the application. This is the application. This is the real application we logged. From GUI to we came to the application. Okay. Now we'll go to the slides. So where we are, the user is validated. The DDIC user is validated here in the user context. From here we went to the screen. So now what this is, these three are interpreters. These three are interpreters. These three are interpreters. Screen interpreter, ABAP interpreter, SQL interpreter. Okay, these are not processes. Okay, don't remember like that. These are just an interpreters which are there in the application. These will not called as any processor. These are not processors. Okay, this is a part of application. Okay, so user context has done his job and allowed me to into the application and provided me the screen. Oh, provided me the screen. Then this screen interpreter, what it will do is now it will change from one screen to another. If now I'm at home screen, if I want to change from home screen to another screen, it will I can change now. Let me connect to the server. This is the home screen of SAP. So this is a T code in SAP screen. In SAP, if you want to if I want to change from one screen to another screen by using T codes only, I will change. T code is nothing but a transaction code. Okay, transaction code. Different modules has their different T codes. Okay, now I'm giving a transaction code. This is the home screen. Okay, this is the ocean. The ocean we are seeing is a home screen of the SAP. This means the SAP is an ocean. Okay, how much we know? There is always something left behind which we have to know. Even everyone, even no one is master in the SAP. This is the symbol for this is that's why here we can see the ocean. I'm just saying funnily. Okay, don't remember that. Okay. This is a home, when we see the ocean, this is the home screen of SAP. Now I want to change from this screen to another screen. Okay, I'm executing a T code SC16. Okay, here SAP basis, here there is no part of coding. All the things is just we have to remember some codes. We have to remember some commands. That's all what SAP is. There is no part of coding here. Now I am executing that SC16 is there now. That is a T code which I'm giving. That T code helps me to check the tables. I given the assistant and enter. Now I have changed it to the another screen. Why? How I change a screen interpreter help me to change from one screen to another screen. I'll go back again. So user context has done his job. Now it's a job of screen interpreter to change me from one screen to another screen. So I got the screen. Here I can check the table names from the database. Why I given this T code means to make you understand the connectivity between application layer to the database layer. Where the tables are resides? Anyone? In the tables resides in application or database. If anyone given the answer, I will be very happy for explaining this much time.
Database.
Database.
It will
Okay.
be stored in database.
Okay. To make you understand. Okay. I given this T code. Okay. Now we are at screen interpreter. Okay. Screen interpreter. I hope everyone is understand. So we have executed a transaction code. Okay, every transaction code is built upon a ABAP programming language. Every T code built on a ABAP programming language. I have executed a SC16 T code. That SC16 T code was built on a ABAP programming language. Here it will check this ABAP interpreter will check that. Okay. Here based on the ABAP program, this based on the ABAP program behind the T code, we are executing just a T code, but behind that there is a big code was there. Okay, behind that all this process runs behind that. Now it's a job. Now it will gives the now the request goes to SQL interpreter. SQL interpreter is nothing but a database. It will communicate to the database. Okay, SQL interpreter. Now here the screen from the request from the screen it will comes to the ABAP interpreter. Every T code has ABAP program. Okay, that program has generates some SQL based on it. Okay, SQL you guys not aware of SQL. Okay. Um, what this SQL interpreter do means it will generate SQL queries. Now I try to check the tables. Select star from tables where table name is equal to T000. Anyone have an idea about this table? This is a table where the client data resides or how many clients are there in the table. I just want to check this data. Okay. Now the SQL interpreter produces this SQL query. Okay. This SQL query to the database. Okay. The SQL interpreter will generate an SQL query. This SQL query will be fetched into the database. Okay. Here just this query which since I worked as a database administrator, I know how when we enter any T code, how the T code will convert into an SQL and how that SQL will communicate to the database. So based on my experience, I generated the query here. So we go to the new screen by using screen interpreter. We have changed it to the new screen. After that, we have executed a T code. The T code has some ABAP program. Okay, that ABAP program has given an SQL. Okay, that SQL will be processed here. Okay, whatever the SQL it is generating, that select star from tables where table name is equal to T000. Okay, the request will go to the R3 buffer. Okay, now what is R3 buffer? R3 buffer. R3 buffer is a temporary storage in the application. Okay, very frequently accessed data. The data which is used very frequently, or that kind of data, that kind of temporary storage is R3 buffer. This is a very important interview question. I faced it multiple times. What is the purpose of R3 buffer in application? The R3 buffer is a temporary storage. Okay, it's acts as temporary storage. The transaction which are going very frequently will be stored here. Okay, now okay, it will search. See here the database is there. Okay, from database only the R3 buffer will get the data. Okay, I will explain that also. The SQL interpreter will communicate with the R3 buffer. It will check whether the data which I given the what is the T code which I given. SC16 is the T code which I given. It will check whether the data is available in this R3 buffer or not. Okay, if the data is available in the R3 buffer means the data is accessed very frequently, then the user will get the data. If the data is not available in the R3 buffer, and the query will check into the DB client. Okay, every application has a DB client. Okay, DB client is nothing but DB client should be installed in the application. Then only the application will communicate with the database. Every database has its own DB client. HANA, let's say it is an HANA database. We have to install HANA DB client into the application. Then only the application can connect to the database. Then only the application can retrieve the data from the database. Okay. So the user request from here will go to the database, the DB client. From the DB client, so since we have installed the DB client, my application now communicating with the database. Now my application now communicating with the database. Okay. What is the transaction which executed here? Okay, SC16. Screen interpreter has changed the screen, and now it's a job of SQL interpreter. Now I want to check the T000 table from the database. We'll see whether the application is connected within a database or not. Okay, I'm just executing. I given the table name. I given the table name which is there in the database. I'm just executing it. Click on execute again. Execute. Click on execute button. Here we can see the table name T000. Okay, man, these are the columns which are there in the table. Every table has columns, rows. Okay, that is very basic. Okay, that structure of tables is similar like this only. It has some columns, it has rows. So here we could see two clients are there. We will see this client topic in future very well, but for understanding architecture purpose, just try to understand. Okay, guys, please connect again. The session is about to expire. Please reconnect. So earlier where we are. So the user request has come to the screen interpreter. Screen interpreter has given the has changed has given us a new screen, and ABAP interpreter has given the programming that ABAP program behind the T code, and this ABAP program has converted into that an SQL query. An SQL query, the R3 buffer has received the SQL query. There is no data inside that R3 buffer. So the user request has gone to the DB client. Now the database client is communicating with the database. So here we got the data. Here we can see the data. Here we can see the data from the database. We can see the table from the database from our application. This is our application. We are seeing the table from the application. Okay. So again, this is how you can see. Okay, the work processor. This is these all this job is doing this work processor only. All this job inside the backend is doing by the work processor only. Actually, he is a hero in the application. A work processor is a hero in the application. This much job he is doing in an application, in an SAP application. And again, he got the data. The work processor has got the data, and again passing it to the R3 buffer. Now, now can someone guess what will happen? Now the R3 buffer stores this data inside it. Now the R3 buffer stores the data which fetched from the database, stored from the R3 buffer. From R3 buffer, it will give to the user. It will give to the user. Okay. Now the users got the data by connecting to the application. We got the data from the database. If user 2 executed the same, if user 2 is login, okay, user 2, dash mx is a command to go to logout. Will login. User 2 is trying to login. What I said, SAP star is another user which was created when we are installing our application. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Okay, again imagine that user to as a DDIC user, the SAP star was not enabled, so I don't have time now. We don't have time now to enable it. Continue with this login without ending any other sessions in the system. Now the user 2 has logged in and executing the same T code. Now we'll use another color. Executed the same T code SC16 which we executed. Okay. The dispatcher will which will goes to dispatcher and it will go to the queue. There is already one free work process is available and the user has go to the work process. Now the work process now the user request has assigned to the work process. With the work process job now to get the data to the user. Now the work processor will validate the user is there in the database. If the user is there in the application, the user context will allow him to the application and screen after that ABAP interpreter, SQL interpreter, in R3 buffer. Here R3 buffer we got. Why? The same data already previous user was executed already previous user was executed the same T code. Now the data is already reset in this R3 buffer. Okay, the work processor will get the data from R3 buffer only. The user request will not again go to the database and it won't fetch. Okay, earlier the user the work process has taken more than 5 seconds to get the data to the user. Now within 1 second the work process will get the data. Why? Because the data is reset in my application only. The work processor is no more need to go to fetch the data from the database. Okay. Why? Because your R3 buffer is there. My R3 buffer is there. My R3 buffer is acts as a temporary storage element. It is as a temporary storage device in the application. Okay. Very frequently access the data resides in this R3 buffer. Okay. From this R3 buffer, the work processor has got the data and again it will give to the output to the user. Now the user has got the output. That's all about how SAP works and how this presentation layer, application layer, and database layer, the complete architecture. It is a diagrammatical architecture. Here we'll see the guys. How many of you understood this? That motivates to me to explain it more better still. If you confirm, how many of you clear about this concept which I explained now? Why? Because this is very
Yeah.
it is very foundation for everything. I have to get confirmation from everyone. Without understanding this, we should not go further on this class. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, yes, it is very clear. It is easy to understanding the work process workflow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much, Radhakrishna. What about others? Others, those who are beginners to SAP.
Bro,
Like
can you repeat once again about R3 buffer once?
R3 buffer is a temporary storage element. Okay, temporary
Yeah,
storage element in the application. Okay, similarly, it acts like a database only, but a temporary storage. Okay, temporary example, we have RAM in our phone. Okay, when we like if you are running 10 applications in background means when you restart your phone, all the applications will be gone. Why? Because those apps are running on a RAM. Those games are running on
yeah,
a RAM.
okay,
uh, but your photos and videos will reside in your phone only. Why? Because those data will reside on the ROM. ROM is nothing but a database. Okay, ROM is nothing
okay,
but a database. So here execute here similarly here R3 buffer is acts as a RAM. Okay, when you restarted
okay,
your SAP system, all the data inside this R3 buffer will gone completely zero. Why? Because it's a temporary storage element in the application. Okay, so
okay,
if a user executes 10 codes very frequently, so he will get the data very frequently within 1 second only he will get the data. Why? Because the data is accessed very frequently Why from this R3 buffer?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is used for frequently access data, right?
Yes, very frequency at access the data. It is very, very important. Okay, for interview purpose. Okay, everything. The complete architecture is important for basis guys mostly. So every architecture, S4 HANA, ECC, NetWeaver 7.5, all these are all the products of SAP. The products may differ based on the business requirement, but the real architecture will remain same. The architecture is same for every product. Those are just the products. ECC from our basis point of view, for us every application is same for us. When it comes to functional modules, it may vary. ECC2, NetWeaver 7.5, NetWeaver 7.2, S4 HANA. The functionalities vary for them, the functional module guys. But for us, every application is same for us. There is a presentation layer, every application has an application layer, and every product has a database layer. Every product has a database layer. So no need to bother about this is completely ABAP architecture we can call. You can call it whenever you are attending any interview. Sir, I worked on ABAP architecture. I worked on ABAP systems, NetWeaver ABAP systems. Okay, you can tell. Why ABAP architecture is nothing but the product which was built on ABAP programming language is called an ABAP product. Java product is nothing but the product which was developed based on Java code, which is Java stack application. So here the pictorial diagrams of which I created. Okay, this is also one of the architecture diagram. This is a diagrammatical architecture, which earlier I seen for your understanding purpose. I created that. So this is the exact architecture from the SAP official portal. The what is in SAP architecture? SAP GUI. We have seen already SAP GUI. What is the purpose of it? Okay, how the user request will come from GUI to the dispatcher. Dispatcher here you can see the ABAP dispatcher. ABAP dispatcher to the work processor. WP is the work processor. Work process from the work processor to the database. Okay, this is how it was. These are in application. You can see the application. This is a database layer. Below blue color one is, and this is all. This box is application layer completely. In this application layer, there are two instances. This gray color boxes are the instances. Instances. This is AACS instance, ABAP ABAP SAP Central Services, and this is our primary application server, also called as this is as a CS instance, and this is also called as central instance. But nowadays, everyone calling it as this as a AACS. In AACS, we have only two servers, NQ server and message server. Uh, each there are seven services completely, five work processes and two services. We will see this tomorrow definitely what it contains. Two instances we have in application. This box is completely an application. In this application only, I said there are two instances. Okay, I name it as this instance as 00. I name this instances as 01. Okay, it's my own choice when I'm installing the application. Hope everyone is clear. This diagram. Okay, this is a little bit confused for this. Here we can see the SAP start service is there. This SAP start services is responsible to start the rest of services in this application layer. It will start the dialog work process. It will start ICM. It will start gateway. It will start dispatcher. First, before this SAP start services should be start. Okay, then only it will start the remaining all work processes. Here you can see clearly the user is connecting by using SAP GUI. He is connected to the ABAP application server and then to the database. Here message server is nothing but it's a load balancing purpose. When there is multiple application servers are there, about message server I will discuss tomorrow clearly. Not only message server, I will discuss about five work process. Each work process can take one session. So here we have seen when we are connecting to the SAP GUI, we have seen the screen. It is asked for this client username and password. So this is the home screen. When we logged in the home screen, we have seen this home screen. Okay, the theme is different, but application is same. We have different themes. It's our wish. So, you guys has asked me like how this R3 buffer. See here R3 buffer, there is a shared memory which is communicating with the R3 buffer, which is communicating with the work process. Okay. Here this is also called as R3 buffer, but here in this diagram they mentioned as shared memory. Okay. If the user is logged in via GUI, dispatcher assign the request to the work process, and work processor will check in the shared memory whether the data is available or not. The user, the data which the user is fetching. Okay, if the data is available from here only, the user will get from this application layer only. The user will get the data, or else the work processor will go to the database, and the work processor will pull the data from the database, and again it will give to the user. Yeah, these are the five work process I explained. Dialog work process, update work process, background work process, enqueue work process, and spool work process. These are the five work process which are there in the application server. By the starting only, I said there are different types of work process will be there. Every work process has its own function. See here after dispatcher, double zero, W1, W2, W3, W4. These are the work process types. Okay, we will discuss these types of work process tomorrow class. This is in-depth diagram. Okay, in the inside the work process, we can see the screen interpreter. We can call as a screen processor also, but we should call as a screen interpreter only, not process. Why? Because already work process is there. Okay, we should call it as screen interpreter, ABAP interpreter. There we have seen SQL interpreter. Interpreter and database interpreter is same. See how it is connected with this is a table buffer. Here you can see the table buffer on application server. Okay, if there is any data already which is there in the application, the data, the work process will get the data from this buffer only. The user request no more goes to the database. Hope this is clear, the architecture of SAP. That's all about the today class, guys. Hello team, are you there? Any doubts? Anyone? Any doubts?
No, very good.
No, bro.
No, bro.
No.
No, yeah. So these free course will continue for this week completely. Okay. No one has to pay anything for completely free. Okay. If anyone needs server access, they can ping a separate. Why? Because we are also paying for the server. All these servers are deployed on a cloud infrastructure. Okay. I'm using the GCP infrastructure where I procured the servers, all the services. So I'm at this moment I'm using only 2 hours to explain you guys. Okay, if I gave you server access, I have to turn on the server for 24 hours. So that will make me cost more. For explaining you for turning on the virtual machines, it will cost me. Uh, of course, I have to pay for that. But providing the server access, it falls on me completely. So those who are really seriously trying for a job as a fresher, so I can explain whatever the concept I know, I can completely make you ready as a 3 years experience guy. Okay, I can give that much knowledge to you definitely. Okay, it's my promise. Okay, those who joined this trial session, you can continue until for the 1 week. Okay, you can see okay how much you are getting the knowledge. Okay, I will provide the documents also, and I will provide the how to those who are trying as a freshers. I will provide the resume preparation and interview support and how to crack the job and on which portals we have to set job as a fresher. I will help you on all these pages. I can help you. Okay, and you can not only this course is completely 45 days. I can complete this course. After this 45 days also you can join. You can join in any batch until you get the job. Okay, you can join. You can attend the class. You can attend the classroom and you can take the server also. Okay, so it's your choice, okay. So you can listen the classes until for this week completely, okay. And tomorrow and day after tomorrow we are going to see this NetWeaver 7.5 installation. After that, client administration. After that, user administration, okay. And transport request moving. and some overview of database, HANA database. I will tell the basic HANA. I will install HANA Studio and backups and some the basic idea. Okay, it's your choice. Okay, if anyone
Okay.
wants server access, if anyone want to join the complete full-time course, they can ping me individually. Okay, I can make a separate batch in for them. Okay, I can I will tell from the scratch. Okay, from the very scratch. Okay, if you are a very layman, if you don't have very SAP knowledge, if you are from completely different background, not only software. Okay, I'll make you ready within the 2 months. 2 months, I will make you ready as as an SAP consultant. Okay, all you need is at least the English communication to get the job. Nowadays, technical knowledge is good, but at least you have to communicate in English to get the job. Okay, to even I feel I face struggles during my job when I was searching for the job. So similarly, I explained it's completely your hard work to improve your communication, but technical skills I can load you. I can load you like a 3 years experience guy. I can make you like that. It's my assurance. Okay, you can contact me anytime for if you have any doubt on the server. Those who join in the full time course. Okay, I'm ready to support for every time. Okay, yeah, guys. Okay, can we log up? Okay, I'm closing the session here. Thank you so
Okay,
much for
brother.
thank you so much for
Thank you for
attending.
taking the class. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much.
PT